don't much want that to happen.
Sorry, what was that?
Car was pretty good today.
Yeah, you got to leave in your place here. Okay.
What do I do?
Anything you want. Hey, folks, welcome to I-35 here tonight. It's a little bit chilly, and we're in between the heat races and the A-mains. And I've got what you might call the two voices of I-35 here with me tonight. And I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves, because even after 2 years, I still don't know your names.
Alrighty, I'm Dylan Vore.
I'm Tanner Carricker.
And both of these guys, now you've graduated from Northwest Missouri, right? But you still are on your senior year right now and finishing up. But both of them evidently think they want to get into motorsports. So I'm going to ask you first, I know you guys do high school sports besides this stuff, but what kind of has enticed you to get towards this motorsports deal?
Me and my dad were big into it when I was a kid. We went to a lot of dirt races, watched a lot of NASCAR, so I just kind of stayed with it and always just kind of been into it.
Yeah. And the opportunity came up for I-35 here, so you just jumped on it and said, hey, I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah, actually, me and Tanner had the same class at Northwest, and I-35 put out a flyer. It was like, hey, we're looking for announcers, and me and Tanner didn't really know each other at the time, but we were in the same class, and yeah. All just kind of worked out.
Yeah. Well, Tanner, what kind of got you on this road down to racing, I guess you might say?
Pretty much the same thing as him. It wasn't really my parents. I had an aunt and uncle, both huge Jeff Gordon fans. They're both gone since then, and Gordon's on their tombstone. They were that big of Gordon fans.
Really?
Yeah. So I grew up a big Gordon fan. I was in racing. When he retired, I kind of got out of it, and then same deal. I got the flyer in class, took it, and has got me back into racing all over.
You know, the thing that kind of sounds so funny about this is both of you guys kind of got this urge, or whatever you want to call it, from NASCAR, not actually small track racing like what we're going to be doing here tonight. But let's say down the road, if you wanted to think 5 years ahead, what would be something that you think you'd really like to get into, whether it be motorsports, high school sports, any kind of sports?
I don't know. Obviously, the dream job's NASCAR, I guess, but that's a lot of work. I don't know. I watch a lot of the Lucas Oil late models. That'd be really cool to travel around with those guys. But again, just kind of getting started here, so it's going to take a little bit.
Yeah. What about you?
I always kind of wanted to work for a college. Motorsports is awesome too. I'd like to continue there, but we have a great broadcast team at Northwest with Matt Trenton and John Coffey. Yeah. I'd like to do their job somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was thinking that the stuff in racing, we've got, I think, two guys from the Kansas City area that have gotten into it. One is Rick Staley's boy, and for the life of me, I can't think of Rick's boy's last name right now, but he's in with Power I big time. And then we had another guy that came through I-35, if I remember right, that went on to work with the World of Outlaws for a while. So, you guys going to have to go?
I'm not sure what's going on there. None of our business.
Police officer.
Yeah, none of our business, but we're...
Yeah, but anyway, we've had two guys from this area and I-35 itself that have went on, because Rick's boy also announced here at I-35 with Rick when Rick was announcing here. So, the possibilities are out there. Yeah. It's just being at the right place at the right time with the right credentials and whatever. And with you guys working here, it just seems like you're going to be ready for that.
Right, and just meeting people that come to I-35, like when the Heartland Modified Touring Series here, we get to meet like their announcer Tanner Schmidt, Trenton Berry, all those guys. Yeah. They really help us out a lot with just getting things figured out, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I say, prospects are good.
Yep, and like he said, all the people we get to meet here, we were talking about it on the way up here. I just called him for a minute or two. Everybody you meet in racing talks about how they have a mentor, and there's quite a lot of them around I-35 that we've met that we get to rely on.
Yeah. Is there anybody in racing, let's say announcing, that you guys kind of look to or kind of like to maybe follow sometime in their style of announcing or anything along those lines?
I can't think of his name right now. He's the older gentleman for the Lucas Oil. James Essex. James Essex. I like James Essex a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and that guy's had quite a career. He's been with Lucas Oil late models for forever. I think it seems back through Tampa and whatever they were on down the road. But do you have one that you kind of look up to?
Probably Mike Joy, voice of Fox Sports for their NASCAR coverage. He did the 500 on CBS back in the day too. He actually got started at his local sports track or short track. I read that on his Wikipedia page. Yeah. I think they did sports cars up there in the Northeast, but he got started there and just worked his way up.
Yeah. What is one of the hardest things as you look back? You guys have both been announcing here 2 years, if I remember right. What is one of the hardest things that you look back on, and as far as announcing at a dirt track was the hardest to do? Was it kind of remembering the names of the drivers or the car numbers and stuff like that?
Yeah, that definitely took us a little bit to kind of put names to car numbers and cars, but I feel like we're pretty good at that now.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. We had quite the struggle the first year. I can't even think. I don't like to think about what all went wrong that first year. Last year I felt like went pretty well, so this is our third year now, and I feel like we're off to a good start.
Yeah.
I'd say probably the toughest thing is just some of the wrecks. We've had some pretty bad ones, had a good 10, 15 minutes without word on the driver, and just knowing what to do in our job and just what we're thinking up there waiting on the news. That's probably been the hardest part.
Yeah. I think one thing in announcing is silence is, I don't know what to call it, what bad word to put on it. But
eerie.
Learned that the hard way. Yeah. We definitely learned that one the hard way our first 2 years. Yeah. Don't be silent on the microphone.
Yeah.
People do not like that.
Yeah. They kind of sort of want to be entertained. I mean, not let alone told what's going on during the races, but like you say, in those downtimes they kind of want to be entertained a little bit, and what little I've done at actual track announcing, that seems to be the thing, and that's where I think having a good what do you want to call it, book in your back pocket on the drivers and stuff, where you can pull stuff out of the air and say, hey, blah 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 blah.
Yep, and we've been doing that. We interviewed about 10 different drivers tonight. We've got a kind of a sign-up sheet, really. If they put their name, their driver, or their car number, sponsors, chassis, everything about them. I think E-mods are coming out.
Yeah, I think this interview's over. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Of Zach Pride, starting tail of the field in that 7W, Chad Walker. We're going to be going 12 laps here in the Team Spray Foam E-Modifieds. Tony Lane, Garrett Stoneham, your front row as CR Seeds and Services. Green flag is out.
Ooh, Anderson loose into one. Spin into one here on the inside. That is, I believe, the 10A at Peters, as caution is going to come out.
Alrighty, lights are back off. It's still Tony Lane, Garrett Stoneham, your front row. 12 laps left. CR Seeds and Services. Green flag is back out.
Lane with a great restart that time. He's going to lead them by one and by a mile. Hayes on the inside of Stoneham. Anderson gets really tight right there. Everybody's going to keep it going as Turner gets right in front of Pride. Pride gets into Peyton Baker. They're beating and banging down the back. Debris as Mark Anderson's over the berm in 3 and 4. I think Zach Pride's nose is laying on the exit of turn 2 right now. More debris flying down the front stretch. That's actually really glad I went left instead of right. Peyton Baker's missing the entire right side of his race car. Excuse me, that's not Peyton Baker. That's Peyton Baker's car, but the 7W at Chad Walker. Missing all of the right side of that 7 machine.
Off of 4, CR Seeds and Services. Green flag is back out.
Another great restart for the 71. DeJong and Hayes all over the back of Stoneham. As DeJong's going to get by for the moment. Hayes is going to go to the inside of the 41. 19 of Ramiro might have got some contact there at the outside wall as Peterson goes around. That's the 12Z going O2T over the berm. The 10, I want to say that's Kenny Reed in the white car. Sean Peterson, Kenny Reed, Zach Pride caught a piece of it. Tyler Turner has hit everything but the phone booth so far. Jonathan Peters, the other car around down there on the bottom.
Alrighty, single file restarts from here on out. Tony Lane's going to bring us back to green flag racing.
Stoneham got a little bump that time from Hayes as the 4K and 14H are going on the inside. Chris DeJong is riding the bull. 39S Bubba Silkwood is our 5th place car. Kenny Reed looking to take that away. Hayes and DeShong side by side, pinching each other all the way down as Hayes is going to hang on to 3rd. Kenny Reed sideways down the front stretch, but we keep it going.
Reed will save it into 1. Good save out of that 56R. But back up front, Tony Lane under fire now from the 4K of Garrett Stoneham. Stoneham seems to have some speed on the low side as we have some trouble over in turn 2. It's like Tyler Tanner and Zach Pride a little wrapped up there. Excuse me, that is not Tyler Tanner. That's the 02T of Tyler Turner. So now we have a caution out on track.
Yeah, but 02T went in the pit. That's all. Thank you.
Bob Saget's son.
The 4K Garrett Stoneham, Blake Hayes in the 14H, Chris DeShong in the 41, and Bubba Silkwood in the 39S. Back to green.
Into 1. Stoneham is riding that very inside. So is DeJong there on the inside of Hayes. They got a little bit sideways. Peterson tight on the exit of 2. So he goes to the outside of Mark Anderson. Tony Lane still our leader as DeJong on the inside of Hayes.
DeShong, our feature winner last week, trying to get up through the field. It looks like he will get underneath of Hayes as we have a couple cars around in 1 and 2. Believe that's going to bring us back to a racing dirt caution. There is the caution lights. Caution back out. Turn number 2. Looks like we have Kenny Reed still sitting sideways. Also wrapped up in that, the 52S is Sean Peterson and the 65A.
I'm pretty sure Sean Peterson just took the front of Kenny Reed's car with him. Look at this white on the front.
Still 10 laps to go here. Tony Lane has led our first 2 laps. Garrett Stoneham, Blake Hayes, Chris DeShong, and Bubba Silkwood round out your top 5 as the green flag comes back out.
DeJong trying to go to the outside here down the front stretch. He's going to go way high as everybody else goes low. See if he can find anything up there. Kenny Reed follows him in the back a little bit. Great run for the 41 as he goes to the inside. A Stoneham crossover move. Beating and banging a little through the corner as he's going to settle into 3rd. Mark Anderson goes to the infield.
Mark Anderson clipped the infield tire off of 4. That might end the night for the 65A. But back on track, we might have a battle for the win here. Tony Lane seems to be the faster car right now, but that 4K of Stoneham, as well as the 41 of DeShong, are on their way to the front.
Stoneham was faster that last time than Lane. We will see what he can do this time as 52S goes around in 1 and 2. Gets it flipped, will stay green. As Garrett Stoneham is trying to close in on our leaders, 2/10 faster than last time.
So the 4K is the fastest car on the track, trying to run down your leader, Tony Lane.
Hold on, Dylan. You're actually, no, the fastest car on track is 3rd place Chris DeJong running 18.918.
Okay, so first and second fastest cars on track is
And Sean Peterson around again. Great job by our flagman there, throwing that yellow immediately before those cars could get around.
Halfway home in this one, 6 down, 6 to go. Tony Lane's going to bring us back to the CR Seeds and Services green flag.
DeJong on the inside of Stoneham once again. Silkwood on the high side back there in 5th, right in front of Kenny Reed. DeJong, Stoneham, and Hayes now fighting for 2nd as Tony Lane still leads.
For the caution, DeShong and Stoneham were the 2 fastest cars on track. DeShong was the fastest car on track. Now you see him making his move up to second. Let's see if he has anything for your race leader, Tony Lane. Comes by and takes, I believe, that to be 4 laps to go.
5 by my count, Dylan.
Yeah.
As DeJong was faster, he's back in the 18.8s. Tony Lane in a 19 flat. This time off of 4. Lane still our leader, and he opened that up on the 41 again.
Into 1 they go. Both top 4, I guess you could say, all jump down low through 1 and 2. Now into 3. Lane's going to try and protect DeShong. Has a little space. Decides to hit the brakes. Going to save that fight for another corner. 2 laps to go. Thanks, courtesy of Seabird Mufflers.
Top 4 cars are running in about top 4 cars are running a tenth of each other in lap times. Lane trying to hold on here. Coming to 2 to go. Brought to you by... Or 1 to go, excuse me. This is the Remax Heritage White Flag.
Last time around for Tony Lane. He's led them all, but here comes Chris DeShong. Going to put a little bumper to him off of 2. Through 3 and 4. Let's see what happens here. Chris DeShong's going to try and jump up top. Moley Auto Group checkered flag is out. Tony Lane will take home the feature win. Lane, your winner. Chris DeShong in second. Garrett Stoneham third. Blake Hayes, your 4th place car. And Bubba Silkwood will round out the top 5.
71-41.
Starting up front in that 24, that's going to be Houston Johnson driving that 24 car. To his outside, the 3 car of Mike Collins.
In row 2, we got the 17K of Michael King. To his outside, the 33 of Paul Glendenning.
Inside of row number 3, 24D, it's going to be Adam Dunwoody driving that other 24 car. To his outside in the 52B, Clay Hale. Tommy Cordray in the black number 5 is going to be starting tail of the field. Race fans, now is your chance. Get up on your feet and be as loud as you can for our Kingdom Trust late model drivers.
Racing Dirt caution lights are out. We're going to be going green next time by. Front row of Dunwoody. Johnson, and Mike Collins got those 24s mixed up already. Then it's King, Glendenning, Dunwoody there. Clay Hale and Tommy Cordray bringing us to the CR Seeds and Services green flag.
Houston will get a good jump and lead the field into 1, but Collins going to try and fight back on the outside. Better 1 and 2 for Houston. He'll be our early leader. Collins in second. Michael King currently in third, but you see that black and white 33 of Paul Glendenning starting to make his way up to the front. Here comes Adam Dunwoody.
Great move by Dunwoody from behind. King slides up in front of Glendenning as the 33 really high there on the exit of 2. He might have just kissed that outside wall. 24D trying to catch the 24H as we come by our second full lap.
Houston jumps up top through 1 and 2, holds on to that lead from second place. Mike Collins as Adam Dunwoody starting to charge to the front. Dunwoody wasn't much of a factor in the heat race.
Hale gets it re-going. Heard from him right before the races tonight. Said he likes to spin it out, learning a new car. He did and didn't even cause a caution.
Back up front, Houston Johnson dives it into turn number 3. You're not seeing double. That's just Adam Dunwoody in second, driving the similar car as your leader, Houston Johnson. Those 24s sure are fast tonight.
Their car owner, Kenny Green, is sitting right by that four-wheeler in turn 1 watching this. He's okay where they run now, but he probably doesn't want him to get much closer. As this time off of 4, Houston Johnson will come by. Fastest car on the track is his teammate Adam Dunwoody, 1.7 seconds back.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. Houston, your leader, but second place Dunwoody. Faster lap time on the previous lap, and just eyeball test here. He looks to be kind of reeling him in here.
Houston ran an 18 that time. Dunwoody a 17.8. Dunwoody down to 1.5 seconds back. Houston over not quite halfway, I believe, as he comes by the line. Dunwoody 1.2 back as Houston's back in the 17-second bracket.
You know, I mentioned this during the modified heat race, but Houston Johnson
Goes around right when I was getting ready to point him out. Dunwoody's got to go high. We will get by clear as the Racing Dirt caution light comes out for the first time here in the Kingdom Trust Late Model Series.
Racing Dirt caution lights are out. Houston Johnson's led them all so far. He has a little bit of competition from that other 24. Adam Dunwoody looks to be a little bit faster. Back to green. Let's see what happens.
Mike Collins hanging in there too. So is Paul Glendon. As I think that's Dunwoody going to the outside. 24 and 24 here side by side. Coming off of 4. I think it's Dunwoody in the lead. Nope, still Houston.
That is Houston Johnson leading. It is hard to tell these two.
Okay, so now we got him. Dunwoody is running the bottom. Houston on the high side.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up, Tanner. So Houston Johnson still leading the way, but Adam Dunwoody right there in the same car trying to make it happen.
These lap times are crazy. Houston was faster that time by only about 700. As now Dunwoody going to move up the track. Houston running low. What does Dunwoody have here off of the corner as Johnson still has the point?
Into 1 and 2, these two cars go. Identical looking number 24s racing it out for this Kingdom Trust late model feature win. Houston Johnson, the lead car right now. Adam Dunwoody in second. Mike Collins in third as Houston comes by, puts another lap away. 9 laps to go.
Houston running faster times now. He's up to half a second lead. As Houston still running low, Dunwoody slides up, and they come to 3 laps to go here at the line.
And to 1 and 2, these two pair cars go. Their car, and they're sitting down there in turn 1's got to be sweating right now with these two cars running so close together. Coming off of turn 4, though, it will be Seaberg Muffler. 2 laps to go for Houston Johnson.
Houston and Dunwoody have been running nearly identical times. That time they were only about 100th off. As Houston has a 0.6 of a second lead. Remax Heritage white flag out. He's got 4 more corners. And Dunwoody dive bombing in the 1.
Houston's led them all so far, but Adam Dunwoody's not going to go down without a fight. Into turn 3. Let's see what happens. Houston will protect the bottom. That looks to be the correct move as Moley Auto Group checkered flag comes out for Houston Johnson. Adam Dunwoody finishes in a respectable second. What a show those 224 cars put on. Mike Collins in third. I believe we have Michael King in 4th, and Tommy Cordray will round out our top 5 in the Kingdom Trust late models. Racing Dirt caution lights are out. We're going to be going 10 laps for your Rod and Supply USRA tuners. Dan Kennedy, J.R. Curtis, your front row. CR Seeds and Services, green flag is out.
Into 1, Kennedy and Curtis side by side. Throgmorton sideways as caution comes out for a bad start.
Out. Once again, Dan Kennedy, J.R. Curtis, your front row. Hunter Throckmorton, Brad Mick in row 2. Samuel Moore, Ryan Hinkle, Robert Miller, and Jeremy Sims round out the field. Green flag is back out.
Kennedy and Curtis side by side down the front stretch. Throckmorton a little out of shape. 3 wide for a moment. Brad Mick waiting in the wings there in third, side by side for the lead as Curtis gets by on the outside. Kennedy running the bottom, first car down there, so is Lightning McQueen back there, the 95 or more, as Curtis leads our first lap.
Curtis, our leader. Brad Mick making a big move into turn one, trying to get around the 53. Kennedy not quite clear. Kennedy has to slam the brakes off of 2, but Mick does get the position. So now it's J.R. Curtis, Brad Mick, and Dan Kennedy, our top 3.
Behind the Curtis, sideways, but saves it. Samuel Moore to the lead on the very bottom. Moore is the leader now. Curtis on the outside. Kamikaze teammates running right behind J.R. Curtis. Dan Kennedy and Throckmorton, another Kamikaze car in 6th. They're 2 by 2. The top 6 as Samuel Moore is going to get clear of Curtis and get by for the lead.
Where did Lightning McQueen come from? 95 to the front. Little contact.
25 as Curtis goes over the berm.
So racing dirt.
Three laps down, 7 to go here. Brad Mick, J.R. Curtis side by side in row 2. Samuel Moore, our leader. Throckmorton Kennedy, row 3. As we go back green, might be 3 wide for second.
3 wide for a split second. Samuel Moore's liking what he sees behind him. He's going to try and run away with this one here. Is now Kennedy making a move back up to second. He will clear Mick into 3, so that puts Mick 3rd, Curtis 4th, Hunter Throckmorton there in 5th. But it's all Samuel Moore in the 95 right now.
Samuel Moore doesn't care about the demo derby happening behind him. He's just going to keep putting laps down. Kennedy now in 2nd as Hunter Throckmorton won the final race of the year last year in the tuner class on a miracle 5 wide pass to get his first of the season. He's up here trying to get his first much earlier this year as Moore comes by the line.
Samuel Moore still showing the way. Now a battle for second. Hunter Throckmorton in that blue and orange number 10 starting to make some hay up front. Looks like he will clear Kennedy off of 2. Mick can't quite clear that 53, but he will stay in that 3rd position. Kennedy 4th, J.R. Curtis in 5th, but Samuel Moore still running away with this one.
Moore has a huge lead, and outside of a caution, I don't know if anybody's going to have a chance to catch him. Even Kamikaze teammates Throckmorton and Mick as they head down the backstretch here. Kennedy coming under fire from J.R. Curtis. He's recovering nicely after having several bits of contact early on in this one. As Moore comes by the line one more time.
You can see the damage on the left rear of that 21 JC, but doesn't seem to be slowing him down much. He stays in that 5th position, trying to get around the 53 of Kennedy. But coming off of 4, your leader, Samuel Moore, he's going to see the Seabird Mufflers 2 laps to go here in the Rod and Supply Tuners.
Throckmorton and Mick still fighting it out for second. That 31 dive bomb's low. I thought he was going to slide up into the 10. They'll keep it clean. Heading down the backstretch for the semifinal time. As off of turn number 4, Lightning McQueen, Samuel Moore's coming to the Remax Heritage with white flag.
Throckmorton, his closest competition in second. Will he have anything for our leader? I think it might be a little too late. Samuel Moore way out front in this one as he dives that Lightning McQueen number 95 into 3. Coming off of 4, Moley Auto Group checkered flag coming out for Samuel Moore. Hunter Throckmorton in second, Brad Mick 3rd, Dan Kennedy 4th, and J.R. Curtis, great recovery, up to 5th.
Hobby stock class sponsored by Carpenter's Classics. Inside of row number 1 is a fan favorite here at I-35. That's the 95S of A.J. Sayers. To his outside, last year's track champion, the 47W, Sean Wirtz.
Inside of row number 2, looking to make it 2 feature wins in a row, coming all the way down from Minnesota. That's the 18JR of Gavin Bartel. His outside the 28P of Dakota Phelps.
From Springfield, Missouri, that's the 174 of Derek Lamp. To his outside is the 66A of Landon Brown.
Tyler Brown will be inside of row number 4, driving that red and white number 189. To his outside in the 95A, Chad Allen driving that 95A car.
Mystery Machine inside row 5, that's the 420 of Jamie Wilson. To his outside will be our flagman in the teal number 7, that's Jason Teal. And tail of the field is that 751 coming out of Corning, Iowa, Keegan Russell.
Great parade here. Race fans, up on your feet, give a big wave to our USRA hobby stock drivers. They're going to be waving back at you. Alrighty, race fans, 12 laps will be the distance for these Carpenters Classics USRA hobby stocks. AJ Sayers, Sean Wirtz, your front row. CR Seeds and Services, green flag is out.
3 wide down the front stretch for the lead here. Sayers in the middle, Wirtz up top. It's Bartel and Lamp now on the bottom. Bartel's going to get by for the lead. Sayers is going to let Lamp and Wirtz go side by side. We're still clean and green after most of one, as our leader is going to be Lamp on the very inside.
That was Derek Lamp at the line, trying to make that inside line work. Gavin Bartel, gotcha. Gavin Bartel still there in second in the 18JR. Wirtz in third. Everyone jumps down low through 3 and 4 besides Silkwood. He's going to run that high line, but Lampy's still your leader.
Bartel running right behind him, but Lampy, fastest car on track at the moment. See if anybody else has anything for him. Bartel putting the nose in there. Not able to do anything yet. He seems to be better in 1 and 2. Lampy the edge in 3 and 4 as the 174 holds on to the point.
Lampy into 1 and 2 again. Jumps down to the bottom. Bartel's going to try to get a little bit lower. He's got his fender there. Can he keep the position in 3 and 4? Lampy's going to try and shut the door. It looks like he'll make it work. So everyone's going to stay.
The other one, too, it's Keegan Russell spun around on the high side. 751 is going to bring out the first Racing Dirt caution here in the Carpenters Classics hobby stocks. '74 on Lampy out of Springfield is our leader. Behind him, he has Wirtz and Bartel. Got somebody from South Missouri, somebody from Minnesota. 4-hour drive each way. They're both here fighting it out in the Carpenters Classic hobby stock.
Back to green we go. Lampy's going to dive it down into 1 and 2 one more time here. Bartel right there behind him in that 18. Wirtz, first car out of line, trying to make that higher line work, as now the 189 of Tyler Brown trying to make it work on the inside of Wirtz. Lampy's going to have the lead at the line. Wirtz still third.
That time by, Bartel was faster by a tenth. He ran a 166. Lampy ran a 22:43. Bartel trying to get under there as Tyler Brown super loose, and the 28P of Phelps goes around. Racing Dirt caution come out now.
Racing Dirt caution back out on the Speedway. This time for the 28P of Dakota Phelps, stopped in between turns 3 and 4. In the Carpenters Classics hobby stock feature race, Derek Lampy's led them all so far in the 174. Gavin Bartel and Sean Wirtz make up row 2. They look pretty fast. And don't count out row 3, Tyler Brown and Landon Brown. We go back to green.
7 laps to go for Lampy here. Bartel on the very inside. He's around. He's going to keep it going. We will not stay green. Racing dirt caution flag comes out. CRCs and Services green flag is back out as Bartel on the inside, trying to put his nose on the inside of the 174. Head down the backstretch. And caution is out as Keegan Russell goes around in turn 2.
Halfway home in your Carpenter's Classic USRA Hobby Stock feature race. Derek Lampy has led them all so far. Gavin Bartel second. Sean Wirtz rounds out your top 3. CRCs and Services green flag is back out.
Bartel trying to get Lampy here, riding his bumper through 1 and 2. He's going to get side by side down the backstretch. Trying to put his nose in. Lampy able to close the door one more time. Bartel, though, riding the inside. Tyler Brown goes around. Will stay green, and the racing dirt caution comes out.
Again, 7 laps down, 5 laps remaining. Derek Lampy, your leader. Gavin Bartel runs in second. Sean Wirtz third. Jason Teal up to 4th now. Landon Brown in 5th in that 66A. 5 laps to go. CRCs and Services green flag coming back out.
Bartel going to the outside of Lampy here in 1. Trying the crossover move, getting pretty rough on the bumper of that 174.
That's what I thought I heard too.
Brown on the inside of Teal for 4th. 18 JR all over for that 174 as the 66A goes around. Racing dirt caution is out one more time. 18 JR, Bartel hit that tire and had a big wheel hop coming through the corner that last time.
Lights are back out. 4 laps remain. Derek Lampy trying to get this 174 to the finish. Can he get it done? 4 laps to go.
It seems like a weird start here. Like half the field wasn't exactly ready for one. I'm not sure.
Agree with that, Tanner. Not for sure, but we are back green.
Bartel trying to catch Lampy here. He slides up on the exit. 174, still our leader.
Lampy trying to protect that bottom side. Bartel all over him there in second. This will be your race for the lead. Into 3 and 4. Lampy's going to protect again. Bartel on the bottom. 2 laps to go, courtesy of Seabird Mufflers.
Bartel's got 8 more tries. Now 6 as they come off of 2. He's right on the back bumper of that 174. He was riding the high side, looking to cut it low, coming to the Remax Heritage white flag. Lampy and Bartel are going to sort this one out. Wirtz in third, watching it play out.
1 lap left to decide this. Bartel's going to try his luck on the high side. Lampy's not going to move off of that bottom side. Down the backstretch, these top 2 go side by side into 3. Lampy on the bottom, going to make it stick off of 4. Bully Auto Group, checkered flag comes out. Derek Lampy's going to take the feature win.
Bartel second.
Gavin Bartel in second. Sean Wirtz third. Tyler Brown, great recovery in the 189, will finish in 4th. And the flagman, Jason Teal, rounds out your top 5. Alrighty, racing dirt caution lights are out. 15 laps will be the distance. Cole Hamilton, Nathan Hampton, your front row in this Schaefer Racing Oil USRA B modified feature. We're going racing.
Hamilton and Hampton started off here as Harris and Dunwoody run right behind him. Hampton slides up in front of Dunwoody. That might hold him up as Harris gets by on the bottom. Now Dunwoody and Harris still battling it out here for third as Hamilton is our leader for now, but don't hold off now.
Hamilton leads him into turns 1 and 2. Harris trying to clear that 08 of Hampton through 1 and 2. Not quite able to get it done. He will stay side by side. They will stay side by side through 3 and 4. Harris a little tight through 3 and 4. Hamilton still your leader. Hampton will clear at the line for second.
Top 3 cars all running 19-second range. Cole Hamilton the fastest running 19.2, but Harris able to barely clear Hampton as he comes through 3 and 4 here. Hamilton still our leader, but Harris is flying 19.1 that time by.
So I believe Daniel Harris is the fastest car on track. That is the 07 in second place now, trying to run down your leader, the 2X of Cole Hamilton. Nathan Hampton, Adam Dunwoody about to go to battle for who's going to run third. But we might have a battle for the race lead here shortly.
That time by, Hamilton was faster again. Harris a 10th slower. Hamilton still has a good car, but Harris can really turn the jets on. He's hugging that bottom line here through 3 and 4. Hamilton still our leader, but Harris running 19 flat.
So Harris still faster in the 07, but needs to start gaining some track time, I guess is what I'm trying to say here on your leader, Cole Hamilton. As Hampton still sits third, Dunwoody fourth, Jet Larson our top 5. Everyone's still chasing the 2X of Hamilton. Daniel Harris really closing that gap, though.
Cole Hamilton that time running under 19 seconds, 18.990. Harris running 19.077. Harris going way up the ladder there off of 4. That might open up the gap for Hamilton by quite a bit.
Daniel Harris definitely searching for some speed around I-35 here tonight, trying to catch up with your leader. So the 08D of Dalton Stroll is going to pull in the infield and call it a night early. But back up front, Cole Hamilton, the 2X, still showing the way here in this Schaefer Racing Oil B-Mod feature.
Harris found a little something there. He's got the faster car now, running 19.1 to Hamilton's 19.3. Coming to 7 laps to go here off of the corner as Hamilton has led them all so far.
You know, I thought Daniel Harris was starting to reel in our leader, Cole Hamilton, but every other lap, Hamilton will pull away, and then Harris reels him in. Bit of back and forth action between these top 2 cars here. Daniel Harris definitely wants to get a little closer to where he's at right now, but Hamilton's liking the cushion up front.
There goes Harris running a 19.1, reeling him back in. I'd say more than back and forth, Dylan. It's been ebb and flow as Dunwoody getting to the outside of Hampton here. Wow, they are side by side down the backstretch. We've been watching the leaders so much we forgot these two as Harris falls back a little to Hamilton.
Looks like Dunwoody will clear Hampton for third. So Cole Hamilton still your leader. Daniel Harris second. Adam Dunwoody now up to third. Nathan Hampton fourth. Jet Larson in fifth. I believe we have 3 laps remaining.
Hamilton still our leader, running 19.3 that time. Harris running 19.5. Fastest car on track was Dunwoody running a 19 flat, but he's pretty far back as we come to the Seaberg Mufflers, 2 to go.
Cole Hamilton trying to hold on to for 8 more corners. Daniel Harris giving everything he's got in that 07 to reel him in these closing laps. Into 3 and 4, Hamilton jumps down low. Harris right there behind him. Not quite in striking distance, but white flag coming out. Remax Heritage 1 to go.
Remax Heritage white flag is out as Hamilton takes it on the backstretch the final time. Harris is going to need a Hail Mary here through 3 and 4 And he's not going to get it as Cole Hamilton leads every single lap in the B-Mod Schaefer Racing Oil feature. Harris gets second, followed by Dunwoody. Told you they'd be fast as Hampton comes home fourth and Jet Larson in fifth.
Till the top four.
In row one, we've got 13J Jeffrey Sears to his outside. It's the 37D Brad Derry.
Picked up the heat race win earlier tonight, looking to add a feature win to that tally inside of row number 2. That is the 21H of Jake Hoover to his outside, the 16S of Chris DeShong.
Inside row 3 out of Iota, Minnesota, it's the 34 of Braden Brower to his outside, the 55T of Calvin Teal.
Number 4 has the 5DJ. That's DJ Barnes driving that 5 car to his outside in that red, white, and blue number 51. It's a cool-looking race car driven by Corey Myers.
Neon green 33T just past the flag stand is piloted by Tommy Ground as he starts back in ninth. Race fans, as they come off of 4, this will be the parade lap for our Scobie Powerline USRA stock cars. Give them the wave as they pass you by.
Looks like track officials spotted some debris over there in turn number 4, so hold on just a sec before we send these stock cars loose.
She's just trying to walk across the line.
Track officials out there getting that picked up.
Okay.
Alrighty, race fans, 15 laps will be the distance for these Scobie Powerline stock car drivers. Jeffrey Sears, Brad Derry, your front row. Green flag coming out thanks to CRCs and Services.
Sears and Derry side by side. DeJong diving to the bottom. We got a freight train into 1. Braden Brower at the caboose. Teal up on the high side as DeJong going on the inside of Sears here for the lead. He's going to think better for now as Hoover dive bombs, gets into Derry. We're going to come out of 4 somehow in one piece with Sears in the lead.
Come out of 4, 3 wide for the lead there for a second, but Jeffrey Sears, DeShong hits the inside tire. That's going to bottle everyone up besides our top 2. DeShong there in third, and that blue and white 16 clips the inside tire through turn 2. We stay green. Brad Derry now to the front, little sideways. There is the racing dirt caution there.
Derry got the lead right before that caution flag came out. That's going to be big.
I tell them to move.
So it's Sears, Myers, DeJong, Barnes as we come back green behind Derry.
Could get interesting here. Brad Derry's going to bring us back to green. Corey Myers got some little luck out of nowhere. See if he can capitalize in that 51. Myers a little high. It's going to give second to Sears. Myers back to third. DeShong and the 34 of Brower are top 5. But Brad Derry still showing the way in that 37D.
David said he did not gain anything.
As Sears is on the very inside, DeJong getting to the inside, that's Myers on the outside of DeJong. Got those 2 blue cars mixed up. Sears trying to catch back up to Derry. He had the lead, but Brad stole it right before that yellow, and he holds on.
As Brad Derry still our leader. Jeffrey Sears in that 13J started on the pole. He's not going away there in second. Chris DeShong, after clipping the infield tires, making up a little ground. He's now up to third. But Brad Derry seems to be Mr. Consistent out there, holding on to this lead.
Derry running a 20 flat as Chris DeShong goes under 20 seconds. He ran a 19.9. Sears still pretty fast, running a 20.1, but fastest car of our top three is our third place, DeShong, as he's on the inside of Sears in the one.
Little physical racing out there for second. DeShong trying to move that 13 up the track as we have a caution. Caution for debris on the front stretch. I can see it right past the flag stand here, a little white piece of sheet metal.
Wait until they get past that before I start with officials being on the track.
Tow truck coming up here as the Red Sea parts around him. A lot of blue, actually.
Jeffrey Sears and Chris DeShong make up that's Corey Myers outside of row number 2. Nonetheless, CR Seeds and Services green flag is back out.
Corey Myers was running back in 7th. Now he's up here on the outside of the lead as we head down the backstretch. Derry with a great run. Myers got a little high there off of 2, actually. He's pinching Sears low as DeShong's putting the nose on the bottom. DJ Barnes a little loose behind him as Derry hangs on to the top spot.
Brad Derry doing everything he can to hold on to this lead. Corey Myers trying to make it stick up top. It looks like the 13 of Sears, maybe a little better run down the backstretch, but they will stay side by side through 3 and 4. Now Sears going to jump out in front. Myers goes side by side with DeShong.
DeShong chasing up the hill there against Myers. Sears now running in second. Big run coming here for the 16S. He gets shot off like a rocket down the backstretch. Nowhere to put that momentum as he catches the back of Sears. And now Corey Myers up by himself in 4th.
Myers trying to make that high line work through 3 and 4. Couldn't quite make it stick. So you're now your top 3. It's still Brad Derry leading the way here. Jeffrey Sears in that 13 in second. Chris DeShong in third. Sears with a big run into the corner. Almost got into the back end of Brad Derry. Now DeShong with a big move up to second.
Sears is leaning into him heavy here in 1 and 2, but DeShong might be the chance he needs. He ran a 19.9 that last time. Brad Derry a 20 flat. These two are going to be going at it here for the lead, coming to just 4 to go at the line.
Laps are winding down. Can Chris DeShong find something on the Speedway? DeShong was 4/10 faster that last lap, according to Tanner. See if he can't find a way around your leader, Derry. Here he comes, DeShong. Big run on the bottom. Derry's going to fall back to second. New leader, Chris DeShong.
Chris DeShong wasn't able to catch Tony Lane earlier tonight. Able to get it done that time on Derry. 3 to go now. Coming to 2 to go. This time brought to you by Seaberg Mufflers as Derry's on the inside of DeShong.
Derry thought about the move that DeShong made as we have a car around off of 2. Caution back out on the Speedway. Looks to be DJ Barnes and the 5DJ facing the wrong way off the exit of turn number 2.
It's going to be a green flag. DeShong, Derry, Sears, Myers, and Brower the top 5. Derry all over the back of DeShong as we're getting ready to go. Green-white checker here brought to you by Seaberg Mufflers. DeShong, Derry, Sears, get us ready to go.
Back on the gas, Chris DeShong leads us into turn number 1. Only 2 laps remain. Can Brad Derry get back around that 16S of DeShong? Big run off of 2 for DeShong. He will extend that lead into turn 3. Derry's going to close it right back in through 3 and 4. Remax Heritage white flag coming out. One more trip around.
Final time around here for DeJong. Derry putting his nose in. Nothing going that time. He's going to have one more shot. It's going to have to be a Hail Mary. Brad Derry diving in. Not going to make it stick. Chris DeJong going to steal this one in the USRA stock cars. He's going to get the Moliato checkered flag as Derry gets second, followed by Jeffrey Sears, Corey Myers, and Braden Brower out of Iota, Minnesota, rounds out our top 5.
Race fans, at the end of this race, I'll be announcing the winning 50-50 ticket number. Have your 50-50 tickets ready. At the end of this modified race, I'll be calling the winning number. Up front in the all-black 0, that's Richard Lane. To his outside in the 58, Terry Van Trump.
In row 2, we got the 22C of Cole Campbell. To his outside, track favorite, national champion last year, and track champion, 97 Moley Machine, Houston Johnson. Tail of the field, he had quite a ride in the heat race. That was the 27 of Tyler O'Neill.
One more time, race fans, at the end of this race, I'm going to be calling the winning 50-50 ticket number. Have your tickets ready for the 50-50 drawing. But before that, race fans, let's get up on our feet, give these USRA Modifieds a big wave as they roll by the grandstands. 20 laps on the board. Generational Buildings, USRA Modifieds are going green.
Lane brings us into the CRC's in services green flag. Campbell on the bottom. Houston Johnson 3 wide with Terry Van Trump on the outside. 4 wide now as Houston on the very top. Richard Lane on the bottom, followed by Campbell and Houston Johnson going to get through the melee and lead the opening lap of the A-Mods.
That is why Houston Johnson is a national champion at the Modified Series. What a move by that Moliato Group number 97 to get him to the front. As here comes that 22C of Cole Campbell right behind him. Richard Lane now third, Van Trump fourth, and Tyler O'Neill our top 5.
And we saw that 22C put some fast times down in the heat race. He ran a 19.5 there. But Houston running a 19 flat right now. We saw it a lot last year. Johnson would kind of hold back in the heats, be content being second or third. He'd keep his best for the feature, and early on he's putting on a show.
Absolutely right, Tanner. Houston Johnson on a tear right now. But Cole Campbell, don't count out this 22C. He won the heat race earlier tonight, so that 22 has some speed there in second. Off of 4, another lap in the books for Houston Johnson, though.
Right, Dylan Campbell running some good times, but Houston Johnson running the fastest laps we've seen on track tonight. An 18.8 that last time by, as his lead is up to 1.8 seconds as he comes off a turn number 4 to come to 15 to go.
Johnson will dive it inside of turn 1. Campbell will follow that line through 1 and 2, as well as the rest of the field of Lane, Van Trump, and O'Neill. Back up front, though, Houston Johnson, your leader. Cole Campbell in second, doing everything he's got to try to catch up with that bright pink 97.
He reeled him in a little that time. Campbell was faster with a 19 flat. Houston ran a 19.1. Campbell 2 seconds behind the 97 machine as Johnson takes 13 to go.
Almost halfway home here in this one. It's turning into a two-car fight up front. Let me check the lap times. Tanner's pointing. Cole Campbell nearly a full tenth faster last lap than your leader, Houston Johnson. If he can keep that pace up, we might have us a show here in the Modifieds.
Johnson still putting great times down. He got a little bit back there on Campbell. Lead is back up to 2 seconds now. This time off of 4, the 97 running low. So is the 22C. Both these drivers, amazing car control, keeping it right where they want it as Johnson adds another tenth to his lead.
Absolutely right, though, Tanner. 97 of Houston Johnson and the 22C of Cole Campbell putting on a show here tonight. Houston faster that last lap. Let's check him here at the line as we're halfway home. I got you.
That time Campbell still a little quicker. We saw this ebb and flow business back with Harris and Hamilton in the B-mods. Houston faster most laps, but every now and then Cole Campbell tries to chip away at him.
Houston Johnson really extends that lead on that last lap, almost a full half second faster than second place Cole Campbell.
Second fastest car that time by was actually our fifth place car, Tyler O'Neill, who's about to go a lap down.
O'Neill must have had some trouble that we missed, Tanner, because he seems to be running pretty fast out there, but like you said, about to go a lap down to race leader Houston Johnson. Coming off of turn 4 here, Johnson able to clear O'Neill and keep moving on.
Johnson able to get clear of O'Neill. He's up to a 2.8 second lead. Cole Campbell might just be backing off a little now. He's running 19.4s. Still fast, but not in the same zip code as the 97 Moley machine as he takes 6 to go.
Laps continue to wind down. Houston Johnson trying to keep that 97 Moley Auto Group machine up front. But Cole Campbell not going away yet as he's able to get around Tyler O'Neill, the lap car. So no cars separate our top 2 cars, but only 5 laps to go. Johnson's got a pretty comfortable cushion.
Johnson down the backstretch. Campbell was a little faster, running a 19 flat to Johnson's 19.1, but it may be too little too late as yes, we will stay green. Tyler O'Neill had trouble in the exit at 2, but caution lights will not come out. Johnson stays our leader.
O'Neill stays on track, but like you said, Houston Johnson staying up front in the 97. This time off of turn 4, it's going to be only 3 laps remaining in this Generational Buildings USRA A-Mod feature race.
97 going down the backstretch here. He might catch another lap car. That's Terry Van Trump coming up next. Then Tyler O'Neill for his second lap as 2 to go, brought by Seaberg Mufflers at the line for Houston.
Barrels it into 1 and 2. One more time down the backstretch goes Houston Johnson. 2 more times, I guess I should say. Into 3 and 4, just protecting that inside line is your race leader, Houston Johnson. Remax Heritage, white flag is out for Houston Johnson in the 97.
Penultimate was the word you were looking for, Dylan. Penultimate time for Houston last time by. Here's the finale as he heads into 3 and 4. Off of the corner, last year's National USRA champion, going back-to-back to start 2026 at I-35 as the Moley Auto Machine gets the Moley Auto Group checkered flag. Coming in second out of Mexico is Cole Campbell in that 22C. Then it's Terry Van Trump. The 0 machine of Richard Lane, our pole sitter, and the 5 of Tyler O'Neill.
Race fans, get your 50-50 tickets out. I have the winning ticket right here in my hand. If you have 50-50 ticket number,
It's like my mom, they've got
Racing dirt caution out on the Speedway. The 53 of Cooper Canaday facing the wrong way in 3 and 4. CR Seeds and Services, green flag, back out. Finish for the beginner tuners. Michaela Myers will bring us back to CR Seeds and Services. Green flag, 2 laps to go. Coming off of turn number 4, Remax Heritage. White flag is out for the 14 JR of Michaela Myers. Molly Auto Group checkered flag coming out. Michaela